Chords and Coffee number 51. Take you a quick drink. We're going to talk about a little Christmas chord conspiracy that I thought of the other day. I want to share it with you, but first, I'm going to start off, and this will make sense here in a minute after we get into this. I'm going to start off with a deep cut. It's a Roy Orbison tune. See if you know what this is. Comment below. Produced by a famous guy. Probably not as, well, yeah, as famous as Roy Orbison. They were in a band together at one point. Comment below. I'm starting on the bridge. Here it comes. You know that one? It's A Love So Beautiful by Roy Orbison. If you haven't heard that one, man, it's in the key of C, and Jeff Lynne produced it, by the way. And Jeff Lynne is the master of contemporary production techniques, beautiful pop melody, and then sneaking in some of that kind of harmonically rich nostalgia. And when that song, which is in the key of C, goes to that bridge, and I think it's in the key of C. Check me on that. If it's not, let me know, because I want to tell you right. If it's not, correct me. I'm here to learn too. But I'm pretty sure it goes from C then to E flat in the bridge. And there's a great music video too. If you don't know the song, you just as well as just to YouTube it and find that music video. I think it's got Matthew Modine? Anyway, it's some famous actors. They grew up and turned into famous actors anyway. But they do a great job. And that bridge, man, when that bridge kicks in, sonic gold. So good. There's even a great little diminished lick in there. And I tried to kind of address that. And then it goes back to C. Anyway, check it out. Awesome tune. It got me thinking. I was thinking the other day, and I was just thinking about, deep harmonic richness that Christmas songs often have. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Why is that every year Christmas, we can have songs that have that kind of harmonic depth where there's this kind of complicated chord progression. Just part of the song, and we accept it. Thumbs up all the way. Nobody complains. Why is that? And I think it's because around Christmas time, it's a deep emotional stratosphere, spectrum of happy, sad, overwhelmed, lonely. When you turn into a parent, and you're like, man, there's a lot of pressure, because you want to make Christmas, you want the pressure to top every year, from the year prior for your kids. And then also, there's the deep, wonderful spiritual connotations in the story of Christmas. And, for a lot of folks, especially if you've lost loved ones, it's a hard time of year. So it's a deep emotional richness of emotions, if you understand what I'm trying to say, that are just part of the season. And I think that's why a lot of the songs have that. Like, for example, this is one of my favorites, and it's Happy Christmas, War is Over. John Lennon, right? Starts off pretty simple, and you've got these great, this tune. I'm gonna go middle pickup here. Right, so you've got this chord, suspended second, suspended fourth, and all this is just an A chord. So everybody on the second fret, starting on the D, the G, and the B, with the index, the middle, and the ring, in that order, second fret, and then you just take your ring off of the B string of the second fret, and then put your pinky on the third fret of the B, and then back to the original A chord. That's the first group of chords. And the next one is it's just a B minor, good old bar chord B minor, index finger across the second fret from the A to the high E, ring finger on the fourth fret of the D, pinky on the fourth fret of the G, and then middle finger is on the third fret of the B. Good old B minor, and then when you take your your middle finger off of that B sus2, it kind of naturally wants to lay on the index finger. It should anyway, but versus just sticking up there like, it's ready to do something. And then you got your pinky finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the B string, while your ring finger kind of makes the bar, and you're really only focused on the 4th fret of the D and the G. If you happen to land on the major third there, it's okay because your pinky's covering that up anyway. So, and then the next set of chords where you have these suspensions to the chord. That may have been the first time I ever learned that chord when I saw that E add 9. That's a really great chord. So the first one I'm playing an E. You can play an E and then just put your pinky on the 2nd fret of the G string, or you can just move your ring finger to the 2nd fret of the G string, do nothing on the D, have it be dead, and then have it resolve to the regular E, and then this E add 9. That's like making a regular E chord. Your ring finger comes off, your pinky comes on the 4th fret of the D. Right? What a great chord. Then back to good old E, then back to A. And then it goes to D. If you haven't done that with a D chord yet, when you go, that's in a bazillion songs, so learn that. Regular old D chord, nothing fancy. You know how to do this. Index finger on the 2nd fret of the G, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the high E, excuse me, and then ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B. And then you're going to take your middle finger off. D sus2 is what that is. And then your pinky is going to go on the 3rd fret of the high E. D sus4 is that chord, and then back to the D. Now you get to the tricky one. So now you've got this E minor major 7. That's what it says, folks. Boom. Boop, boop, boop. By the way, whenever you see like a note with a minus on it, that just means E minor. So E minus would be E minor, and then in parentheses, major 7. A minor major 7? What? Now you're just making stuff up. It's a thing. And actually, it's the Stairway to Heaven. It's the 2nd chord, like in, What is the 2nd chord? There it is. That little, it's also in any kind of little Latin, that kind of stuff. And also, if you did it up here, that's how you would play this part that I'm showing you here. But down here, when you're doing an E minor major 7, the easy open cowboy chord way to do it is after you make your E minor, just good old, 2 fingers, middle finger, ring finger on the 2nd fret of the A and the D string. You're going to take your index finger and put it on the 1st fret of the D. In context, it sounds, by itself, it sounds a little weird. In context, it sounds great. Or you can do it here. That's a little bit more stretchy, so let's just focus on this right here. So good old E minor, and then just put your index finger on the 1st fret of the D, and then for that E add 9, E minor add 9, which is the next one, just think of this as an index finger on the 2nd fret of the A. Your pinky, I think it should be pinky. You can use your ring, but I think pinky is a little more comfortable for me. But ring or pinky on the 4th fret of the D. And then back to this A sus4, A sus2, A. And it goes on, and then from there it's really simple because it's just repeating those same chords. But that is in that Christmas song. Here's another harmonically rich Christmas song, and actually I was thinking about this as I was turning on my camera and getting ready for this Chords and Coffee episode. Christmas time is here. Vince Guaraldi. I told Dan Palen one time, I said, Dan, I want to be the Southern Rock Vince Guaraldi of guitar. He laughed. I don't know what that means. I think that means somebody that has an accent, that enjoys country, southern, simple things, and likes complicated chords. So I'm on my way. Anyway, Christmas time is here. One of the cool things about this song is that this is one of the first times that you run into one of these. How does that sound to you? Sounds wrong until you put it in context. Right? So all I'm doing here, when I'm playing this, this is the Charlie Brown Christmas Time is Here. There's a couple ways you can do this. This way here, I think, is probably worth your investment just messing with this song. I know this looks stretchy, and I'll tell you, on acoustic guitar, it's going to be a little harder. On an electric guitar, where you have a lighter set of strings, and also, frankly, you just don't have to work as hard. You can do this. So what we got going on here? So you're going to kind of break a little bit of the rules here. So you're going to go, I feel like doing it this way just seems easier, especially on my pinky. So I got my index finger on the 8th fret of the A, okay? I got my middle finger, stay with me, on the D and the G and the B. So I'm making an F bar chord, just like that, but I'm doing it with this, right? Now, you're like, that feels weird and stupid. Why would I do that? Well, because your pinky is going to go on the 12th fret of the high E, and then go to the 13th fret of the B. Now, you can do this with your ring finger, too, and just leave your middle dangling out here. But you tell me. Comment below. Seriously, I want to know. Does it feel better to use your middle like this? Well, and I'm going 12 to 13. And then when I take it off, I'm playing the 10th fret of the B, and I'm playing that with the bar if it's already there. So tell me which one feels more comfortable, with the ring finger or this, with your middle finger. Either way, as long as you can do it, it's great. And I think part of the reason why I was doing this is because then you go to this chord. And this is a cool, so think of this as the same kind of deal, but we're going to take our index finger straight across the 8th fret, and then we're going to put our middle finger on the, I said 8th fret, 6th fret, sorry, 6th fret. Still learning math! And so middle finger is going to be on the 8th fret of the D, index finger across the 6th fret, and then pinky is going to be on the 10th fret of the B. So, whoops. Then you can take your finger out, or let's see, what is the melody here? It actually just stays there, but it kind of, there's a little kind of fun little counter melody you can do in there too. I like it. It sounded good to me, so I did it. And then after that, you've got, whoops. These chords here. So you got this one. So I usually start with this octave on the fun for all. And so that's an A octave. And that's on the 7th fret of the D, and then skipping the G, and then pinky on the 10th fret of the B. And then a B minor 7 flat 5. Think of it as a D minor over B. And so you've got your middle finger on the 7th fret of the low E, skipping the A. Ring finger is on the 7th fret of the D, pinky's on the 7th fret of the G, and then index is on the 6th fret of the B. And then just a good old B flat minor 7, and this is where it gets super fun and simple. It's fun before, but it gets simpler. Is you've got your just a good old index finger across the 6th fret from E to E, and then your ring finger is on the 8th fret of the A, and then down to an A minor 7. So the exact same thing, just down a half step, but now your pinky's going to come on the 8th fret, and then that same shape again, now down a half step, no pinky this time, and then down another half step, and the pinky gets back engaged on the this time 6th fret to the 3rd fret, just off or on, all off, and then you can do index finger across the 3rd, or you can do like a B flat over C this way, where you're making a B flat F chord, but with your index finger, index on the 6th fret of the B, middle on the 7th fret of the G, and then pinky on the 8th fret of the D, and then ring finger on the 8th fret below E. And then if you want to drop that down, we talked about that on the turnarounds lesson, and then back to F. So on whatever F you like, F major 7, F major 9. That's some stout chords. And one thing about Christmas tunes is because they come around every year, you get a lot of chance to practice them. I feel like I'm selling this book, and we do sell them. This is one of many great books, but get you a good Christmas book and start working from that thing. I would love to know, what are some of your favorite songs? Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Nate, can you do a reharm of Oh Holy Night? I'm working on that. I'll show you really quickly kind of what I'm thinking. Tell me if you think I should continue. Whenever I ask you these ideas and I don't hear any comments, I just take that as a subtle no, move on to the next, and that's totally fine. But, so if you got Oh Holy Night, the fall on your knees part, right? All that. What if you did? Think of this. Let me turn up my reverb just a little bit so it's a little ethereal here, but so just a little way to kind of just change, or maybe set up as an intro, but nonetheless just change that little melodic portion. So starting on, instead of starting on C sharp minor in this case, I'd started on an A major 7, and then B over A to a D sharp 7, to a G sharp 7, sharp 5, C sharp minor, C, or a C major 7, and then on the O, it went like this. So that's B minor 6 to E9 to A major 7, and then B flat minor 7 flat 5, or A sharp minor 7 flat 5. And then I feel like it needs to go back to the regular thing at that point. But hey, you want me to do some more of that? I'm happy to keep going. But that was my original, or I shouldn't say original, I should say a couple passes at it. That was just kind of what I came up with. I'm really enjoying talking about this Christmas music because, again, I think most of us learn, the complicated chords by learning Christmas tunes. And I would encourage you to do that, because even if you only kind of get friendly with a few of them, it comes back around every year. And so you'll get reacquainted and hopefully pick up a new chord friend here and there, the more Christmas songs you take a stab at. So continue to just send ideas for that. But also, again, we got our big end of the year episode coming up, and so we'd love to hear your ideas, and also just any future ideas for Chords and Coffee. I want to do some things different next year because this has been a full year of, from my house, and I love it, and I love the comments, and I love it when you guys actually either come by the store or give us a call or reach out in all the different ways you can reach out. It means the world to me, but also helps keeps these things going. Hey, if you enjoyed this, share it, comment, like it, subscribe to it, and stay tuned because lots of cool things are coming, and I appreciate y'all. You know I do so much. Y'all have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.